Okay, Matt, you're first in the hot seat for the fans. Familiar face on the terrace, and maybe tell us exactly how long you've been out there watching us for.
66 years, coming into my 67th year. I was only coming 7 when my grandfather brought me, and actually he played for Larne, and then later on my father brought me, and he also played for Larne. So it was in my genes in a way that that I would be a supporter, as I've always have been, and yeah, it's been a good spell really overall. I can't complain now.
Maybe tell us about that team that you started watching 60 plus years ago. What sort of team were they? What were we doing back then?
I think from what I mean, I was only 7 at the time, so I think it was the Intermediate League at that stage. I'm not just sure, but I can remember actually, and funny enough, today is the 31st of January. This is 62 years today since the Princess Victoria went down. The worst day ever I remember. And where was I? Inver Park. And it was hails and snow and sleet and everything. And Larne, you can check these records, but I think Larne were playing Monkstown. And that's really the first that I sort of began to realise what was going on. You know, came and watched the team, and that was it with my grandfather and my father. But then, as I got a wee bit older, then I started to get a wee bit more interested in the game. You know, so the team was good. Larne always had a fairly good team. I can't remember actually whether they won anything at that time. I do remember one trophy that they won to beat Ballyclare was the Clement's Little Cup, and that's some time ago. I think that went out of vogue, and I think Larne maybe were near enough the last winners of that, the Clement's Little Cup. And then just after that, they started getting better teams, and well, just went on from that really.
Maybe tell some of the more notable names that have played at Inver Park during your time, people that really bring a smile to your face when you think back to them.
Well, I can name that. I can almost name the first. To me, one of the best teams that we ever had was Joe Kincaid and Billy Orr, and Frankie Hughes was left back. McGee, McEwen, and Humphreys was right half, left half, and centre half, and then Danny Hickinson. Billy Neal, Johnny Calderwood, Sandy Shields I think was there at that time, and then Sammy Humphreys was on the left wing, and that was a fantastic side. We come up here every week, and the case, it wasn't a case here it was where we're going to win, it was a case how many, and that's true. We always said that, and they were absolutely, and Chucky Rainey, but Chucky was later on. This was early days now, I'm talking about, and later on Chucky Rainey and a few other, Big Robin Thompson, David Thompson, all the wee Bertie Irvine. I could talk here for donkey's ages about all those guys, you know, but it was great. It was great seeing them, and it was a fantastic time. And they had the wooden railings around the ground that time. And I always remember there's a big lad played for Larne, Jim McCurdy. Now he had only one lung, and when he used to run out, and he jumped over the gate out onto the pitch. He didn't go through the gate. He jumped over the fence out onto the. And I always remember that. You know, it's wee things like that that stick in your memory. And there's lots of other things which would take too long to start and talk about them. But yeah, well, some of the other teams. The first team that won that I remember winning the Steel and Sons Cup. They beat. Linfield Swifts 3-1 at Grosvenor Park after a 2-2 replay, I think. And I'll never forget that the first match on the Christmas morning when I think Larne were getting beaten 2-1, and Sid McElroy, Sid was playing for Larne. Sid was another great player, and Sid brought the ball down. I'll never forget, he brought the ball down with his hand and volleyed it as it came down straight into the corner of the net. All the Swifts boys were over to the referee, but the referee allowed the goal. So in the replay then, Larne, I think it was 3-1 or 4-1, Larne beat them in the replay. But we had a fantastic team. Jimmy White, that was another one. Jimmy taught me at the Bridge School, but Jimmy was Speedy, they called him. He was a fantastic player too. And it could go on and on and on, but these guys, you know.
Well, I suppose having seen Larne from those days, you know, from the intermediate days to getting into senior football, you know, that must have brought a lot of change in terms of the team they were playing and the fans and even the quality of players and all that. So, you know, you sort of saw the both sides of the coin, really.
Yes, actually, when Larne came into the senior league, that was almost one of their worst spells. They hadn't the players that they'd had. They were starting to get older, and they were bringing new players in, and it was a transitional period. And actually, that wasn't a great team that went into the senior league, but because of the way it happened, Derry City being put out, Larne, who had applied every year to get in, but with no luck at all, and they were brought in at the last minute because to fill the gap. And really, it was a bit of a disaster in many ways. It was lovely getting into the senior, but we were all prepared for it. You know, as a result, you know, we finished, I think, probably near the bottom. I think the best we ever finished was third in the Irish League. But that was a transitional period. But it was great getting the Linfields and the Glentorns down here, and you know, it was absolutely brilliant. So it was seeing the senior clubs, and we had a good following then as well. I can remember coming up to Inver Park, even in the B division days, and you know, you had to come early to get around the fence there, and there was only the grass up there. There was no stands or anything at that time, and people were standing up there in their droves, and it was absolutely fantastic. And, you know, I'm just hoping we can get back to those days. You know.
Yeah, I mean, having been out there for 6 decades plus, does it still mean as much to you to get out to a game on a Saturday and get out to watch the club?
Absolutely. You know, sometimes I can't get, but I keep my phone on me, and I go if I'm at home, I go onto Twitter and I just follow the game that way. It means I just Larne's just all you know. I've interest in the Premiership and England, but really and truly, you know, if Larne don't win, it's a dead weekend for me. You know, to be honest.
That's bad news for those of us who still ruining their weekends. But you say it still happens. But what we saw with the Scott Irvine incident there recently, you know, away from the football, it shows that I guess a club like Larne maybe means more than just what happens out there in the pitch. You know, it was nice to see, I suppose, people rallying around and what happened after that, really.
Yes, it was nice because there was a wee bit of aggro, I think, between Larne and Carrick because of circumstances that happened earlier in the season. And I think if it did nothing else, I mean, it obviously didn't want Scott to get injured, which he did, and he's badly injured. Now, just at this stage, I would just like to wish him and his family all the best. You know, I hope that we'll see him put down Larne in the near future. You know, but it put into perspective what football's all about. It is about playing and winning games, but it's more than that. And we've seen that whenever the supporters of both teams were clapping them off, and the fact that the two managers had agreed to postpone the game, which I think that was a bit, and I think that actually would improve relations between the two clubs again. You know, so if that come out of it, then that's fine. That's even better. Like, you know.
Well, with your plenty of experience behind you, you know, how do you rate the current team? We seem to be moving forward and moving in the right direction. What's your thoughts on that?
I have to say, David's doing a fantastic job here. He really is. I mean, when we think of where we were this time last season, looking over our shoulders to see if we could, you know, if we're going to stay up in the championship, to this season where we're actually looking yet if we can actually be promoted or at least, you know, stay in the top 2 or 3, which it's a massive improvement. And the players that he has there, I mean, they're doing their bit, you know. And I always say it's easy criticising. Those guys are doing they're doing a day's work, and they're coming in here 2 nights a week training, and on a Saturday. And it's easy to go out there and criticise them, but I admire those guys because it's not easy, you know. And for the money that they're getting, you know, it's really, they must be doing it for the love of the football. That's all I can say. When you think of what they're getting in England, and they're still complaining over there, you know. Yeah. So yeah, it's great. I'm really excited about what's happening, and particularly with all the things that's going on. Also from you guys and all the guys on the board there for Archie and Mervyn, yeah, Archie and Mervyn, and you know they'll come in for a lot of criticism, but they've done a fantastic job, and you know it's ongoing, and I'm just looking forward to everything that's going to happen in the near future. I really am excited. I really am. I mean it, and I hope that we can fulfil our aim of getting to the Premiership sooner rather than later, whether it's this year or whether it's next year. And it's also good to see that they're going to bring the Olympic back again, which I think is well, of course, to get into the Premiership they would have to have the Olympic there anyway. But it's a good sign that they're thinking along these ways, because when you have 16 or 17 players, you can't play them all every week. So if they're getting a game maybe in the Olympic and things like that, that'd be a big improvement, and I'm looking forward to that as well. So all in all, yeah, it's going to be an exciting time.
And finally, you said about your grandfather bringing you to the matches, and that's what started. And similar experience with myself and my dad. I guess anybody watching you would say, come and give it a chance. There's nothing really that beats a match on a Saturday afternoon.
Nothing at all. There's nothing I hate worse than not being able to go to a match. And the way that this league has been, it's been a bit stop start. So you do miss a couple of weeks, and sitting at home watching the TV is not the same. Okay, sometimes it's not pleasant out in Inver Park, but it's a lot better than sitting watching TV or down shopping or something, So I really am excited about what's going to happen.
Okay, Matt, thanks for your time. Thank you.